Hello. Just wanted to start off by saying that I'm sorry it took quite a while for this third part of this series to come out. It ended up getting to be like 30 below at my place for, I don't know, about a week or week and a half, and couldn't really do any welding or anything like that without proper ventilation. I didn't have any other projects to work on, so I was just kind of sitting high and dry. I'm getting started here on part 3 of the multi-purpose wood stove for my deer stand for this upcoming fall. I'm just getting it built right now so I can test it out and see how things go, and I might end up building myself like a sauna stove out of a 1/4 inch for a room in my, or back bathroom in my place. So I'm cutting this, and then I'm gonna take it on this little mandrel type thing or whatever the heck that is, and heat it up, and then kind of twist it around so it's got one turn on it, and then that'll go around the rest of the bolts that I had used, or the bolt that I had used for the upper air intake. I just used the threading from it, and I got 2 sections like this left over, so I'm gonna wrap those around, and it'll be, this is a 1/2 millimeter wider than this is, so it should end up working out pretty well, give really nice tight clearances, but also be able to move freely. So yeah, that's what I'm getting started off here on. Probably use this or a hunk of this for the latch to go into the inside of the frame for the door once I get to that too. I'll just leave that aside for right now while I figure out how big it needs to be, pretty much. These ended up taking a while longer than I would have liked, but I wanted to make sure that they were perfectly rounded so they would swivel around on the little hinge pin properly. And since they took quite a while, I'm just going to cut the making of the second set so that it doesn't take so much of the recording time or so much of the video time. And I'm just finishing this up here now. I'm just preparing to drill some holes for the little rosettes that I'm going to do to weld it to the front of the door. I'm taking a spring and I'm going to lengthen it out a little bit to act as kind of a clamping force on the handle for the door. This is going to be the inside latch for the door. It's going to latch on the inside of the door frame that I'm going to make, and it's going to make sure that it closes up nice and tight. I'm just cutting it out. I'm going to shape it a little bit, and then I'm going to kind of give it a little bend on the end, like flare it up, I guess, inwards a little bit, where it'd be in relation to the stove, so that it can slide right over that inside door frame. I'm marking and cutting what's going to be the door handle, and then as well on the other side there's going to be like 6 little pieces that I'm cutting that I'm just going to use for tabs to mount in where the baffle is going to go, so I could just set that in place and then weld it in. I'm just drilling the hole for a piece of bar stock or a bolt to go through for the inside door latch mechanism. I plan on using this angle iron as the legs of the stove, so I'm going to measure it half and then each half and half again, so they're roughly the same size. I plan on making one of them as kind of a template, and then making the other 3 the same size and like angle and whatnot as that one, so they're all the same. So my phone had died while I was recording myself making the other feet, and it's such a pain in the butt bend them over. Anyways, I'm just gonna cut down because these are longer than they need to be, and I have enough metal to just make a little cap on the inside for them. So I'm just gonna do that and get these last two cut and weld it up quick here. One really good thing that I did do when I made the initial one, I cut out little pieces of the 20 gauge steel or whatever. Yeah, 20 gauge steel. In like the inside and outside dimensions of the legs. I could come like that and know that I was, you know, right on for all of them. Or if I were going with this one and I needed to do like the inside, I could do that and know that I was on. And it makes it nice and quick and easy. And then I just got that, so it made duplicating all of these legs is going to be a heck of a lot easier that way. And I'm just grinding the last two legs down to the proper angle and size, or roughly the same or correct size. I'll do the fine finishing stuff on the spindle sander, but that way I know I'm not, you know, making one too short all of a sudden, and then, you know, I gotta make the other one shorter to make sure that it stays, or that it stands up correctly and like level and everything, and the legs aren't all wonky. These are taking a little bit, but you want to make sure that, you know, since you've got an angle on each end of it, you want to make sure that that angle is the same, so that you know, they stick out correctly and the feet on the bottom, or the pads on the bottom, lay flat on the ground. And then you've got like a nice flat flush area as well to weld onto the stove, so that it, you know, it all sits level and proper. I'm just welding the bottoms of the feet, like the caps or pads, whatever you would call them, onto that, or onto the legs, so that they've got a nice flat bottom, so that if I need to, I can drill into them, tap them out, put some bolts in the bottom to have some kind of leveling system, or else have something that I can just drill a hole through and then mount right into the ground so it's nice and sturdy, which should probably be what I'll do in my deer stand. So I'm going to just be welding these little 1/8 inch pieces in, 3/4 inch by 1/8 inch pieces in. It's going to be like the framing for the door. I've got the door in place behind it, just so it kind of puts it exactly where it's supposed to be. And so I'm just going to weld these in quick. Then I'm going to flip it over, weld in the roof, and then throw the baffle in and weld that into place. I'm just going to tag the baffle in just in case I need to remove it at some point in time, so I could just go in quick and just cut it out with a little angle grinder. Bar stock for the bottom ended up getting a little bit bent, so I just wrapped it on the vise a couple of times, and that ended up getting it back into being straight. And I'm just going and welding the bottom bar to the two side bars that are making up the frame for the door, and then I'm going to end up welding
the seam alongside the ones that go vertically on the door frame. Weld those all the way up along the sides so that it's nice and solid. I'm now going to be welding all 3 of the seams on the top of the stove, all along the side, both sides, and then the back, because it would have been just kind of a pain in the butt to weld from the inside, and I also plan on going over this with a flap disc and bringing it back down to flat so that any kind of attachment that I add to it will be able to seat like perfectly on it flat so that it gets all the heat absorbed through it as well. So I'm just gonna be doing that in the next video though. The final corner, and I'm just going to be cleaning up the welds with a wire disc so I can check them out quick, make sure that I've got it welded the whole way across, and then I'm going to be putting in my baffle.
And here is the baffle that I had made for it, so I'll just go in here.
The stove is upside down, by the way, if anyone's confused. This was kind of a pain in the butt to get put in because it was exact same width as the stove was supposed to be. So I ended up getting it wedged in, flipping it over, and then kind of pushing from the top through the flue hole, and just getting it put into place and tacking it in quick so that I could get it, or the rest of the tack welds in.
Okay. Okay, baffle's in place. Big old pain in the butt.
And now I'm just securing the baffle in place with a few tack welds, a couple in the front, a couple in the middle, and then in the back as well. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this video, I believe, aside from a little walk through the stove quick.
Lower lower air, upper air. There's my little baffle. Great. And this is also the ash pan. Which I have to a bit. I stepped on it the other day, so I gotta re-squeeze it back in. But yeah, so now I just have to do the doors, which I have all the parts ready and to be like kind of just put together and welded, and then all that's left after that is the feet, which are already ready. They're over there. I need to just clean them up and get them ready, and painting, and then I'm done. I appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, or if you want to check out the other ones, I'll have a couple videos on the left and a link to my channel, and subscribe on the right as well. I appreciate it, and have yourself a great day.